So here is the second machine. This is a 1984 Honda 200ES. It's in really pretty nice shape, right? I mean, the fenders are a little battered, but it's got the original fenders on it. Tires are good. I mean, it really looks pretty, you know, things aren't bent up. Looks like his front forks are still alive. No, they're seized. Take that back. These things always have played front forks. Right, did a good job on the fender. Put two of them together to get one. Anyway, the story on this guy is we got a bit of a hacked wire harness here. So what I'm going to do is spend a few minutes going through it to see if we can't get it started. I think I'm going to start out by putting my portable CDI box on it and see if it runs, just to see if we got to do anything with the carburetor or anything like that. I also brought a pit bike ignition just in case that we have to use the pull start and that to get spark out of it. But we're not doing anything until we get started, so let's do exactly that. So, completely hacked electrical on this thing. I like to start at the basics, like, does it run? Right? No use putting a bunch of time into it to find out the motor has some real lethal problems. We wired up the portable CDI box here. Got that all set up. It's good to use air cleaners. You know what, I'm going to dribble some gas in there. Then we'll give it a hoot and see if we can't get this thing to start. This thing is using a cable choke, and I don't like those. And that seems to be seized. So you know what, we're going to hit it with starting fluid. So I put gas in it. We'll give it a hoot. So let's see how lucky I am. Will it start? Right, cold start. Oh, cold start. Might have to turn the idle up. All right. So I don't have to do anything to the carburation. The engine sounds fine. No issues there. I brought a pit bike ignition system. I'm debating whether I should just hack that on so we could get it firing on the full start. Well, let's see. Maybe I'll get creative. We'll find out. So we're just trying to bring this thing back enough so that it actually could go out and be ridden, right? I mean, I'm not going to have time to get through all of this kind of quackery. So I went through the wire harness and I said, you know, let me put the pit bike wire harness on it. And I think the one I brought has a dead CDI. So much for the China parts. So then I went through the real harness just as it's on here. And it turns out if everything's plugged in, right, the pulse generator actually comes in here, right? I can probe between ground and the blue and yellow and get my 35 ohms, so that's all good. Turns out the red and black from the stator goes up in here, and I could check that and get 235 ohms. And I could check ground here to ground, and it's all hooked up. And then I checked the black and white, and sure enough, when you turn this on and off, it shorts and unshorts. Open for on, short for off. And then the black and yellow, sure enough, that gets you to the primary here, 0.2 ohms. So it's all well and good. And then there's this gray wire. What does this gray wire do? And I'm looking at it, and I checked it, and it's 80 ohms, and I'm thinking to myself, you know what? I have the feeling this is the reverse turn off or something along those lines. So what we did is we cut it, right? And we're not running, right, on my portable CDI or anything, right? See, the wires are loose. And we actually got this thing to fire up on its OEM stuff. I'm gonna just give this a one hand, so I'm gonna starting fluid it. But check this out. And check this out. So, from a Steve going out to ride tonight, he's going to be able to ride this thing around. And he could turn it on and off. He could pull start it. It's just like a 200S for the time being, or his 200X with the S motor. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put together a harness. I have some of these floating around, or at least I'm going to troubleshoot the wiring to figure out what goes to what, and then maybe we'll rig them up a hot ground or an electric starter that you just push the button, the electric starter goes around. It won't check to see what gear you're in. It won't check anything else. It'll just activate the electric starter. And once we do that, and the wiring for the 12-volt charging system seems to be intact, but you indicated it was blowing fuses.
Well, the guy was messing with those wires.
Oh, if he was messing with these wires. I mean, there's some real clever wiring here. See the ground wire? It comes in, it goes around, and goes back to ground. Right? I mean, there's some fancy wiring there. We got ground hooked to ground. So, yeah, there's a little Tom Quackery going on in there. Anyway, let's
Creative
get
wiring.
real creative wiring. I think rats did it. But we're not messing with that. So we did get it to start, and let's put it back together again and see if we can't get a ride out of it. So what I've shown you is that's the wire that you could cut. If you want to get rid of the reverse interlock, the Are You in Gear interlock, any of the motor type interlocks. If you want to disable the on and off switch also, you would cut, besides the gray wire for the motor interlocks, you would cut the black wire with the white stripe. So you cut those two wires and you'll have spark all the time. Hope your throttle doesn't get stuck. All right, let's put it together and get a ride out of it. So we got it running. Look at that, 2 for 2. Running. Let's get a little ride out of this thing. This is, reverse, low, high. Let's pop it in low. This has a little bigger footprint. That's always good. This is my new camera. It doesn't have the foot on the base. Normally, I'm used to having the foot to hang on to. Yeah, this is cold. We just started it, and the choke needs a little love and attention. It's on a cable. It's not a manual choke. Steve's gonna fix that. Looking at the cows. Cows looking at me. Yeah, I'm happy we got this one going. Get it into neutral, let it run up for a minute. Yeah, nice machine. Stall. Yeah, it needs to go out and run for a little while. That'll clear the car. But yeah, it's a real nice machine. He's got the racks on it and so forth. He redid the seat. Yeah, not bad at all. I'd take this home. I got one of these in the shed, and about this condition, I really should drag it out and get it started. Yeah, Steve has quite the hoard here. So, 2018 Rancher. You said 420?
Yeah, 420 Rancher.
Look at that. I mean, it's all,
Solid axle in the back instead of independent.
so solid axle in the back, not independent, automatic, power steering. Check that out. Very clean look to it. Then looks like a pair of Kawasaki's. 750 brute force. This 750 must go like no tomorrow, huh? The 750 must go like no tomorrow. I mean, like up anything.
Yeah, if you want to try that one too, just for the hell of it.
Yeah, that's wide.
Got a bunch of power.
Boy, it looks like you can tow a house with that.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then the 650 brute force. It's a good sized monster also. Yeah, Steve has quite the hoarded toys here. Once again, I think he's got the southern tier all tied up. I got down south all tied up. This is why you guys can't find all-terrain vehicles. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. A little short perhaps, but I think I showed you guys all the important stuff. I want to thank you all for dropping by to watch. Comment, subscribe. Please bring your comments in. And remember to keep your feet down, heads up. Get out and enjoy each and every day. You really don't know how many you're going to get, so get out and have some fun. Bye now.